stories.
Please don't kill me. I have a lot to live for.
I've always been one to have a weirdly strong intuition, but most of the time, I will just brush things off because I literally lack evidence, which I should just trust in my gut always, but sometimes I don't lean into it as much. This brings me to one night while I was grocery shopping at Publix after work. I was in the checkout line, and in the line next to me I noticed a father and what I assumed to be his two teenage daughters. One of the girls looked like maybe she was high school age, while the other looked closer to middle school age. Nothing at all stuck out to me as odd about them. I am not entirely sure where these feelings came from, but I was just watching them and analyzing them. I used to be a behavior therapist before, so I can't turn my behavior analysis brain off sometimes. This is a blessing and a curse at times. Anyway, I'm analyzing them and the dad. I don't entirely know how to explain it, but he emitted a very strange energy. It was dark, chaotic, and like sexual, if that makes sense. Mind you, I mentioned before that he did nothing at all to give me these feelings. It was purely something I just picked up on. I couldn't put my finger on it, but he had some dark sexual energy, and I didn't like that. Fast forward to the next day. I'm at work, and I worked at a spa in my hometown, and he was a client there getting a massage. As he was checking out, I recognized him from Publix the night before. His energy was still off a bit, and I was still not a fan of this dude. He made weird, misogynistic comments, of course he did, about how he did not wish to rebook at the time because his wife does that shit for him. I internally rolled my eyes and said, "Have a great day, sir. We will see you next time," as he departed from the spa. My male co-worker, the massage therapist who gave him the massage, came up to the front desk and demanded we don't book him with that client ever again, and to please put a note in his account saying not to book with said therapist. Me being morbidly curious, I asked him what had happened. My coworker began to explain that the client made weird comments while on the massage table, and that instead of getting undressed and onto the table while the therapist was out of the room, he waited for the therapist to be in the room to get undressed, which is extremely inappropriate. My coworker then said this man had a weird, dark, sexual energy about him, and that he was uncomfortable the entire duration of the massage. My jaw dropped. Let me tell you, I immediately went into my encounter with him at Publix, which I won't even call an encounter because the guy never looked at me nor said a word to me. I was just reading this disgusting energy from him. When I was at Publix, I was blowing off my thoughts about him due to not even knowing the man, but now I know to trust my gut no matter what. This guy is bad news. That's all I have to say. And that's all I know, because, by the way, I am a metaphysicist. This took place the summer before 8th grade in 2011. I forget about it having happened a lot, but every once in a while it pops back into my head and creeps me out all over again. Figured it was worth sharing. Sorry if this is long. I tend to talk a lot. So, it's summer, and my best friend, Lily, asks me if I want to come over for a sleepover. Of course, I said yes. We planned to camp in a pop-up tent camping trailer her parents kept in the driveway so we could gossip, watch movies on a little portable DVD player, and stay up all night without disturbing anyone. I am a bit of a worrywart. Still am. So when we went to set up our snacks and blankets in the trailer later that night, I was super paranoid about someone trying to come in it or some shit like that. My mind was somewhat eased by the fact that the little door had a lock on it. I decided to put my big girl pants on and not be scared. Boy, was that a terrible idea. Some time went by gossiping and watching movies, but eventually we got a little bored. Lily suggested we go for a walk. I was scared since it was like 1 or 2 a.m., and we lived in the heart of a decently sized town with some questionable characters. But since I had put the aforementioned big girl pants on, I figured, hell yeah, let's do it. Be rebels and shit. So we went off into the dark streets. The walk was going really, really nice. The summer breeze was just the right temperature, and some of the sky was clear so we could see all the stars. We were coming up to this area with the shops when I saw movement at the end of the street. In the light illuminating from a shop sign, I saw a man in a white t-shirt slip out from behind a tree at the back end of the block. At first I didn't think anything of it, but then I realized he was walking towards me. He was pretty far away, but I told my friend we should turn around and go back home because I had a bad feeling. Right after we turned around, I took a glance back to look at him again in the street lamp light. Now he was walking with purpose. Okay, this guy is freaking me out. I gave it another second thinking about what to do, and this man breaks into a full-on sprint and starts calling to us, I love you! I want to be your friend. Can we be friends? Can I have a hug? With his dick hanging out. Things like that. Lily and I looked at each other for a split second. She had a terrified look in her eyes. I'd never forget it. We both set off running as fast as we could without a word. I didn't look behind me once while we were running away. I had read somewhere that it slows you down, and those extra seconds are crucial. I could hear him calling to us. It was all a blur. My mouth tasted like blood. My legs were moving so fast I could not feel them. I remember making sure Lily was right beside me in my peripheral. We were several blocks away from Lily's place. I have no idea where we lost him or how close he got to us. When we got back to Lily's house, we were shaking, trying to open up the door with the house key. It was so dark, I have no idea if he was somewhere around us. We got inside, made sure all that the doors and windows were locked, went up to her bedroom, and laid side by side, shaking and saying nothing until sunrise. We never told our parents because we did not want to get into trouble. I never went for a walk at night again unless it was with an adult. And my new husband, who I'm pretty sure is an adult, maybe. When I was around 7 years old, my mom and I lived in these apartments in a border town. My mom is a single mother. Anyway, in our apartment complex, like most, had a playground in it. Luckily, our apartment was on the bottom floor and right next to the playground. Like most children, I loved playing in the playground. Every day I would play there. I honestly can't remember, but my mom either went inside the apartment to grab something or let me play alone. But while she was on and gone, a random woman approached me. I've never seen this lady before, but she told me she had a huge Barbie doll house and a lot of toy Barbies. She told me she lived not too far away, and she asked if I wanted to go and play. I remember saying, I have to ask my mom first. And that's when she said she knew my mother and that it was okay. I did not know any better, and I agreed to go. She grabbed my hand and led me to her house. She did have a lot of Barbie toys, and I was playing, but she didn't have other children around, so I'm not sure why she had all of these Barbie dolls. Apparently, I was gone for some time because it was starting to get dark, and that's when there was a loud bang on the door, and the lady opened the door, and it was my mom, and she looked very frightened. She grabbed me, and we moved out of that apartment complex soon after that. And honestly, I don't remember what happened after that.